Hi, and thanks for listening to Gossip with Celebitchy, where we talk about celebrity gossip, entertainment news, fashion, and royals. This week, we're going to talk about the stories we just covered on Celebitchy.com, including Brad Pitt and Charlize Theron's non-starter romance, the Oscar nominations, and Duchess Meydan Instagramming by proxy. We'll also answer your questions, like vintage gossip we'd love to cover, and celebrities whose wardrobes we'd like to have. We end with our weekly feature, the comment of the week. The photos, stories, and memes we talk about here can be found at Celebitchy.com under the podcast section at the top. The link is also in our show notes. I'm Katie, the founder and editor of Celebitchy.com, and I write as Celebitchy.
Hi, I'm Chandra. I write as Kaiser at Celebitchy.
So today is our third week. We're getting the hang of this, and we wanted to thank everybody for the nice emails and support and tweets that we've been getting. You can call in with questions and comments at 434-218-3219. We're also on Twitter as Celebitchy, and Chandra's Twitter is Kaiser at CB, and you can email us at info@celebitchy.com. And if you rate, review, and subscribe, it helps us grow, so thanks for that. So the first story I wanted to talk about, and it wasn't the biggest story this week, but it was my favorite one because it just has so much to unpack, is Brad Pitt and Charlize Theron.
The interesting thing about the Brad Pitt and Charlize story was that it didn't feel like the story really blew up over the course of the week. It's just my theory that Brad's people were the ones behind it and they were really overselling it. Charlize is a movie star. She's got her own people. She's got her own publicist.
Yes.
And it just feels like she's not playing the same game.
Exactly. And you pointed out that there was a story in People magazine that changed, like the quotes inside the story changed within a few hours.
Yeah. It was more like hype and vague and, oh, maybe something will happen. And then a few hours later, it was like, no, nothing is happening and nothing will happen.
And then you ran a follow-up story in Entertainment Tonight, and it was saying that he wasn't looking for an actress. He was focusing on his kids. And it was like, ooh.
That's because the Charlize thing blew up in his face.
Right?
That's what happened.
So do you think they they met on that Breitling luxury watch photo shoot that they did?
Oh, I honestly believe that they probably met a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
They are in the same circles. They would have been at the same award shows. They would have known each other vaguely, been acquaintances.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
So I think that, the Breitling shoot was probably the first time that they ever spent any kind of quality time together.
Yes.
And maybe Brad was like, hey, maybe Charlize will be my new pretend girlfriend or even real girlfriend. And it didn't happen. And it didn't happen really quickly.
She shut that down. She seems like that type. She loves him. She's ready. She's like, nope, I'm done.
Well, whatever happened between Charlize and Sean Penn, it was epic. And I really do feel like it's going to be one of those gossip mysteries that we never really find out. Because it was night and day.
Gossip mystery.
They were engaged.
Oh my God, they were engaged?
Yeah, they were engaged. And
I don't even remember.
And they spent all this time together, and he was acting like a father to her kids. And then all of a sudden, she just started ghosting him. I really want to know what happened there, but we're never going to find out.
Because he has such a temper and he is such a control freak. I bet he just did something that she considered a deal breaker and she cut him off.
Oh, absolutely. But I want to know what it was.
So what's their what's that word? Portmanteau? What is their couple name? Because you wrote in a post, you wrote Bralise was one.
Yeah, Bralise and then Shard.
I like Shard.
Shard. I just think it sounds like a wine. Bralise, it seems to suit them, but I don't think we'll use it that much. But then again, that's what I thought of Tittles, too. God, I miss Tittles.
Oh my God, Tittles. All right, so I should explain that Tittles is the name we gave to Taylor Swift and Tom Hiddleston when they hooked up in the summer of 2016. And they were only together for about 3 or 4 months, but it was epic.
God, I miss Tittles.
They were a lot of fun.
You came up with that.
I didn't, did I? Oh, yeah, we were emailing about it. Oh, my God. The good old days. Oh my gosh.
That story was so much fun. Oh, we didn't enjoy it as much as we should have.
That's how I feel about Obama.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't know what you have till it's gone. So we also covered Neri Oxman, and she's the MIT architecture professor who dated, I put in air quotes, in April of last year, but she was really with this billionaire boyfriend at the time, or she was like kind of seeing Brad a little on the side and she went back to him, and she got married and she's newly pregnant too, I think you said.
Yes, she's pregnant.
And she... the best part of the story... Go ahead, sorry.
No, the New York Times story was ridiculous. I don't know if you read the entire thing.
I read your excerpt.
Yeah, I had to like edit out a bunch of stuff because it was too long. I mean, obviously it was too long, but they just like, they're so pretentious. It's amazing. And just the way she talks about everything. Oh my God.
She sounds like the CEO that took over at one of these .coms I worked in the late 90s that like folded a couple months later, and she kept using all these buzzwords like synergy. It also sounded like one of those online managerial bullshit generators.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm going to have my boyfriend read the quote from the New York Times that Neri Oxman gave about her new marriage.
We both appreciate the expansiveness of life, love, and living associated with cultivating, building, sharing, and inspiring a creative life, one that transcends the often prescribed categories of family and work and unites them into synergy. We both believe in the notion that what we do is not a job or a career, it is a calling. We both believe that gratitude is a skill. We believe in human expression. We work hard. We love to laugh.
So the Oscar nominations also came out this week, and there weren't any big surprises, but there were some snubs.
Yeah, the biggest surprises and snubs I thought were Timothée Chalamet, no nomination for him.
Yes.
Big nomination for Willem Dafoe, and no nomination for Bradley Cooper for director. But he got nominated for Best Song, Producer, and Actor, Lead Actor.
And Best Picture, too.
Yeah, producer.
I saw A Star is Born this week, and it did not flow. The timeline was really vague. There were some decent scenes, but you didn't know where you were in the characters' lives. And it wasn't well directed. I didn't like it. It had even some glaring editing problems that I saw. So I'm not surprised.
I think Bradley Cooper has the same issue as Ben Affleck. I said that in some of the posts.
Yes.
They like to direct themselves because they give themselves all of the beauty shots and glory and all that. Yeah. I don't think they're great directors.
They do frame the shots so that they look interesting. And Bradley's a better actor than Ben Affleck, but the character he played in this was kind of weird.
Well, it was Oscar bait. That's why he did it. That's why he played it. That's why he directed it.
Exactly.
Other big nominations. I mean, I was happy that Lady Gaga got nominated because she wouldn't have been able to shut up if she did not get nominated. I like that Glenn Close got nominated again. It's going to be like Julianne Moore for Still Alice. It's a good performance, and people feel like she's due.
She is really due.
And of course, everyone says that about Amy Adams, who also quietly under the radar got another Oscar nomination.
This is her 6th Oscar nomination for Amy Adams.
Yeah,
but it's going to go to Regina King.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of maybe a little bit perturbed that Olivia Colman's Oscar campaign kind of just died out. Like, she won the Golden Globe. She was very happy. She made that great speech. And then everyone's like, oh, well, it's probably going to either go to Gaga or Glenn Close.
Yeah, it'll probably go to Glenn Close. I hope not Gaga. But Coleman was just delightful. I had never seen her interviewed before, and I saw her interviewed after the Golden Globes, and she was just so effusive and so genuinely touched and down to earth about everything.
Olivia Colman's been having a lot of fun, and I think she just is having a really good time, and it shows.
With their bitches.
I think the same about Richard E. Grant. He's having a great time.
He is.
You know, he keeps making these videos thanking people whenever he gets nominated for anything. And he was crying when he got nominated for an Oscar. He was awesome.
That's cool. I saw on Twitter that you were upset because the Mr. Rogers documentary didn't get a documentary nod.
It's called Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Yes.
And I wasn't even sure that it would win anything because it came out very early last year. And people were talking about it, but it kind of flew under the radar as far as like Oscar campaigns and whatever. But I thought it would get nominated at the very friggin' least.
I've seen that on other people's lists too, and it got a lot of buzz, and it's a really heartwarming story, so that's too bad.
It was different than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a sob fest and just about how amazing this man is. And he was a very amazing man.
Yes.
But it wasn't as heart-wrenching as I thought it was going to be.
Okay, see, that makes me want to see it.
Yeah, he was just a very profoundly decent man. And
nice.
That was the story.
Okay, I will have to see that one. I'm looking forward to it after I watch all these other movies.
Also for the Oscar nominees, Lady Gaga was like pretty much the only nominee who gave an interview after the nominations and said, "Oh, I slept through them. Oh, I didn't find out until hours later." And that's what she said to the New York Times, and I was like, bitch, please.
And given the way she gave her Critics' Choice speech, where she's like crying, and then she just stops on a dime and tells the band, "Don't play over me."
And the performance has to stop, like she's performing this entire time.
Oh, and she's pretending to like Bradley Cooper too, like they're besties, and he's the best. And it's so awesome that he wiped off her makeup.
How many times is she going to tell that story about him wiping off her makeup?
In the movie, he touches her face multiple times. It is weird. This must be a thing that Bradley Cooper likes, because there are several scenes where he's like doing stuff with her face. He's into faces.
You know what's weird is that maybe even just 2 weeks ago, I would have thought that Rami Malek would be the favorite.
Yes.
To win Best Actor. But I'm kind of doubting that. I really am. I think that the Bryan Singer statement about how Rami didn't know about Bryan Singer at all, I think that's going to blow up in Rami's face.
You cannot know and issue a more condemnation if it is true. Like you can say, exactly. I didn't know, but my heart goes out to the victims.
Exactly. The other big story, well, it wasn't really a big story, but it was an interesting story, was that the Duchess of Sussex had a friend over, her makeup artist, over for the weekend, presumably at maybe their country house, or maybe it was even at Nottingham Cottage at Kensington Palace. And he Instagrammed their breakfast or their tea. I was like obsessed with the teapot.
It was really cute.
And yeah, the teapot was gorgeous, and her sort of like slightly mismatched dishware. But mostly I was just weirded out by the fact that she served tea, avocado toast, and chocolate truffles.
And you were like, I don't think chocolate truffles go with that. And everybody said, well, chocolate goes with everything.
But with avocado toast?
Not for breakfast. I think if you want to have like a little extra something to make it look cute, you would put like a little basil leaf or something on the side. But for breakfast, you don't really eat chocolate.
Well, I think it was for the British tea, like for their tea time.
Okay.
British people, they usually have something sweet, like they'll have a cake.
Yes.
Or something for tea.
When I lived in Germany, we would go all out with the cakes in the afternoon, especially at the holidays.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, but it's interesting also that he was allowed to Instagram it.
I would assume she approved the picture.
Yeah. And I do think that she would be exactly the kind of person who would be posting photos of food and dishware and that kind of stuff.
Lifestyle type stuff that looks cute like that.
Exactly.
And it doesn't look pretentious at all, because she has those little silver plates and like a cute little teapot that probably we could afford. Did you see in the Daily Mail, they had that horrible, I think it was only in the print version, it said, is Meghan's favorite snack fueling drought and murders? Because it was about the avocado trade or something. And did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I chose to ignore it because I don't want to participate in everyone climbing up her ass over absolutely anything and nothing.
That was a really egregious example of it.
Yeah, it is.
I like this one. This one woman tweeted, a white woman would have gotten 12 ways to eat an avocado like royal.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So here are some user questions we've gotten, and including a couple of voicemails. Our number is 434-218-3219. That's 434-218-3219. And you can text us there or leave us an email at info@Celebitchy or contact us through social media. We got so many questions this week that we can't answer them all. So we want to thank you for that. And if you ever have a question, you can just email it to us and I'll answer it to you. I might not necessarily be able to answer it on the podcast. First, we're going to play this voicemail from Jennifer. And I swear we did not ask her to leave us this message. We don't know her. She just left us this really nice, effusive message. So I'm going to play that. And it's mildly embarrassing, but we're not above playing the whole thing. So here it is.
Hello, my name is Jennifer, and I am just calling as a huge fan of what Celebitchy does and has done for such a long time. And I have to tell you, when I found out that you all were doing a podcast, I actually gasped out loud because it is a dream come true for me. I just followed your site for such a long time, and I have so appreciated how you have evolved during this really troubling time. And to me, you've just created this really wonderful community and space. And I really appreciate everything you do. I know it is not easy always, especially nowadays, but you are just a perfect blend of escapism and reality. And I'm just calling as a fangirl, and I just thank you so much for all that you do. Take care.
Okay, I swear we did not pay her. She's not my friend. We do not know her. And we really appreciate that. So thank you. And if you just think...
That was really sweet.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was really sweet.
Like, I was really touched by that. If you just think we don't suck, that's fine too. You know, we get it from both ends. We got a voicemail question from Bridget, and it got cut off, but she texted the rest to us. So I'm just going to play the excerpt that did come through, and then I'll read the rest of her question.
Hi, my name is Bridget. I'm a longtime reader and a definite listener to the podcast. I enjoy it for my rides home the last 2 weeks. So I have a question. What would you say your fashion choice of...
And the rest of her question was, are there any celebrities whose wardrobes you'd love to steal? For me, that is, I think Evan Rachel Wood. And I just thought of her because I saw her today in like a fabulous coat and cute boots. And I really like the suits that she wears. I don't know if I would have the nerve to wear suits as much as she does. And I would never be able to pull off that cute hair. But I like her style and she's fun to watch.
Yeah, I think if I had her figure, if I was tall and slim and that kind of like inherent elegance, I would want to dress like her because she looks awesome.
She looks very fashionable.
Whose wardrobe would you steal if you had their body? Yeah. And they're just fabulousness. Like Tracy Ellis Ross. If I could dress like her and look like that, I would. But I can't wear a giant Giambattista Valli or whatever dress and not get swallowed up in it and look embarrassed. But she does, and she's like, yes, here I am. You know. I would love to have Salma Hayek's body, but then I wouldn't look good in clothes. I mean, she's got like the most perfect hourglass figure.
Yeah. But she dresses so fug because her husband owns the luxury brand and they put her in the most ridiculous clothes that they think are fashion forward.
Yeah. And it doesn't look good on that kind of body type. It only looks good on girls like Evan Rachel Wood. If I was a celebrity, if I had more money than I knew what to do with, I would probably dress more like Angelina Jolie. I would wear sack dresses and I would, wear real comfortable flats and whatever. That's me being a realist.
Great coats and great boots.
Yeah. She has some really nice coats and boots and a few nice pairs of trousers and silk blouses.
Yes.
When she does borrow something for a red carpet, she looks nice, I think.
She does. She looks stylish. I swear I was thinking of this before you even mentioned Angelina, but for street style, I really like Jennifer Aniston's street style. Yes, it's a little plain. Yes, she sticks with what works. And I probably dress like her more than any other celebrity because she just wears jeans, a nice jacket, some cute shoes. The
thing about Jennifer Aniston's street style is that it's very relatable to us and to women of our generation. Yes. We've been dressing like that for friggin' years. We all wear.
She looks like us.
Yeah, she looks kind of vaguely 90s too.
So do I. I'm so dated in my style.
Yeah, and I still love that kind of look too. You know, I would still wear a lot of that
happy. I'm so happy it's in again and all the velvet is in. And I don't wear chokers or anything like that. And I'm not breaking out the Doc Martens, but I like that it's coming in again.
All right, next question.
Nice Girl asked on our Friday link post. She has 2 questions that I think sum up what we cover on the site and our readership. She wanted to know about the fate of the Trumps and about Lady Gaga. So she wants to know if the Trumps are going to flee. Are they going to stay in the U.S. or go overseas? And if Ivanka is going to divorce Jared. We don't have to get into all that. And who will Lady Gaga try to emulate, pay homage to at the Academy Awards? So first, I'll let you answer the one about the Trumps.
Well, I'll answer both of them. And you can chime in if you like. I
got some ideas.
Yeah, I have some ideas too. For Lady Gaga, I think that she's going to do Marilyn Monroe. I think it's the Oscars. Why not do Marilyn? She's
That's
blonde
so
now.
Lame, though.
You know
That's
she'll
so
do
lame.
it. Lady Gaga is lame. You know. And you know why else I think she's going to do Marilyn? Because when Madonna went to the Oscars, she did Marilyn. And Lady Gaga has to copy Madonna.
She does copy Madonna a lot. All right, that's a good idea. My idea was that, and I know she's not going to do it, but if you're going to copy anyone, copy Rita Moreno. Last year, she went to the Oscars in the same dress she wore from 1962. Just a nice velvet strapless dress with kimono fabric on the bottom. She wore like a velvet headband and it looked good, and velvet gloves. I know Gaga is not going to do that, but she was styling.
Gaga would never do that.
I know. That's who I would copy.
As for where the Trumps would go, you know, whether or not they would flee the U.S., I don't think Donald Trump is going anywhere. He doesn't like to travel. You know, he would rather be in federal penitentiary in America rather than have to go on the lam in like Ecuador or wherever. And I think Jared and Ivanka would probably be the most likely Trumps to try to flee. I've always thought that Ivanka would, if it came down to it, she would sell out her father or her husband, depending on where she could get the best deal. So who knows? I think that both of them could end up fleeing. I definitely think Jared is a good flight risk.
I like speculating about this, and I hope it comes to fruition. It feels decadent to speculate about it because we're not even close, but we'll see. We got an email from Gabby, and she asked a really excellent question that we love to answer. And she writes, "Hi, I've been Celebitchy's biggest Toronto fan for many years, and I'm loving the new podcast. I have a question. If you could get in a gossip time machine, what vintage gossip story would you go back to cover?"
My answer is the 90s.
Oh.
Anytime between 1993 to like 99.
Okay.
I would love to cover the celebrity couples from that era. You know, Winona and Johnny Depp, then Johnny Depp and Kate Moss.
Yes.
Brad Pitt and Gwyneth, then Gwyneth and Ben Affleck. Winona and Matt Damon. I mean, it was just such an exciting time. Glamorous, but alternative indie couples. And then there was the music, and that was another angle of, you know, Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. And I just love the 90s. So
the 90s were awesome. I loved them too. I would probably go back to the early 2000s, you know, not for the whole era, but I would love to cover Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez because they were so fun and messy together. And he bought her like this giant pink Harry Winston diamond ring. They used to drive around. This is before the paparazzi were even big. They used to get photographed in his topless Bentley driving around. They loved it. They loved the attention and they sought it out. And then, of course, later on, he blamed her for everything. That was my favorite gossip story. And then he was like in Canada and he cheated right before they got married. He deliberately sabotaged that. And that was all a lot of fun when it happened.
I remember I believe it was Diane Sawyer did the joint interview with them for Gigli. Do you remember that? Was it Diane Sawyer?
I think so.
And I think if that had come out just a few years later, it would be everywhere still to this day. It was so iconic.
And she was talking about the chicken she makes him, and they were like in their kitchen or something.
And he looked like he wanted to die throughout the entire thing. And she's talking over him whenever he tries to say anything. Oh, I wish that video was still out there because I've searched for it.
You can find it. I swear I saw it like maybe 4 years ago.
I like that time period too, but I still would go back to the 90s. And another thing, not just like the 90s indie Hollywood couples, but Princess Diana.
Oh.
I mean, the tragedy obviously would be horrible to cover. But
she was
of
wonderful.
the years leading up to that, leading up to her death, when she was fun and single, and screwing over Prince Charles right and left, that would have been so much fun to cover.
She knew how to dish, and she knew how to get headlines.
For another reason why the 90s were awesome, JFK Jr.
Oh, he was great.
Carolyn Bessette. That whole gossip era was so amazing. JFK Jr., Princess Diana, all the celebrity couples, the rise of Angelina Jolie, all of it. It was amazing.
It was a lot of fun. It was.
All right, I'm done.
Cool. You can talk about the 90s. The 90s were awesome. So let's talk about our comments of the week. Our comment of the week was on a fashion post, so we're going to link this. You can find it under the podcast section at the top of our site. Kristen Stewart went to the Chanel show, and she's had a deal with Chanel for a while now. They put her in one of their tweed jackets, which isn't the worst. It's just like kind of sloppy tweed, and she's not wearing a shirt under it. That's really popular now. And it has these gold lame looking accents on it. But then they put her in these awful loose gold pants that have like this weird ombre thing going on with them. And she folded them at the bottom.
And then she paired them with chunky flat shoes.
Okay, those are cute. Those are low Doc Martens.
But the whole ensemble together was bad. And then it was topped off with this absolutely horrendous makeup job.
Her makeup.
They made her look like
she looks like
friggin' clown.
She's in, what was that, Robert Palmer, but not hot looking. Like, she's got like green eye makeup that's green cat eyes, orange red lipstick, and she just looks like, oh shit, I have to do this. I'm getting paid.
So there were some great comments from that whole post, even though not enough people agreed with me that she looked like a fucked up clown. The commenter named Dwarf said, "Girl, this is not your look. This is Vanilla Ice's look."
Oh, yeah. It's the hair. She had Vanilla Ice hair. Now I get it.
And then Gobo said, "Red lips and blue eyeshadow? Jesus wept. No."
Oh my gosh, she looked ridiculous.
And then my other favorite comments were on the Cardi B story about Tomi Lahren.
Okay, explain the background on this. Tomi Lahren is like a ridiculous conservative blonde talking head, right?
Right.
Okay.
And what I love is that, it's been years now since the meme started, but everyone just kind of goes with it that we're never going to call her Tomi Lahren.
Okay.
We're always going to make up a new name for her. And I absolutely love that everybody does that. We're always calling her Tonky and Tawny.
So what happened in this story that Cardi B is responding to? What did Tomi Lanyard do? What did this lady do?
Tommy, Tanny, Tawny, Tonky. She was mocking Cardi B for having political opinions because Cardi B she made that video about
the shutdown,
the government shutdown, and how Trump is only supported by rednecks.
Exactly.
And they're dumb rednecks.
Yes.
And so Tommy, Tawny, Tonka, she was like, you shouldn't say anything. You're just a liberal, blah, blah, blah. And so Cardi told her that she would dog walk her. And the comments were pretty priceless. Sash said, "Tammy Lanyard brought about those white woman tears real quick when Cardi punched back. The audacity."
Tammy Lanyard.
But the whole comments in that thread, they were amazing.
Thank you for listening to the Celebitchy podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe. It will only help us grow because we're brand new. You can follow us on Twitter at Celebitchy, that's CELEBITCHY. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as Celebitchy Official. Our website is celebitchy.com. Thanks again.